Hi everybody, Mark here with Camino Tranquilo. I'm coming to you live from Astorga in the weirdly beige room. I didn't plan well. I'm going to take you on a ride. Hang on. Bear with me. Nobody gets seasick. Here we go. Just so you believe that I'm actually in Astorga. Wait for my camera to stop whiting out. There we go. It's the Gaudí Palace here in Astorga. It's an art museum, and I am right next to the cathedral. So, beautiful town. Anyway, just so actually believe I'm in Astorga and not in a beige Holiday Inn somewhere in Kansas. So today we're going to cover days 3, 4, 5, and 6. I'm sorry I haven't been uploading more. It's been really rough finding decent. Don't get seasick, guys. Hang on. Take your Dramamine. There we go. It's been really tough finding good Wi-Fi. When I've had good Wi-Fi, I've just felt, I've filmed some of these day by day, and I've just felt guilty about uploading them because there have been quite a few pilgrims where I'm at, and the Wi-Fi isn't great, and even my little tip of getting up early in the morning to do it, it's still, these things take about 40 minutes. Somewhere around a 20 to 40 minute video of these. It takes 20 to 40 minutes to upload, and it's a bandwidth hog. So I'm probably going to wait until I get to places that I'm kind of by myself and there's not a big pilgrim community, just kind of out of courtesy to everybody else. If you're curious, I'm in a hotel in Astorga. You could probably figure it out on Google Maps based on the what I just showed you out the window. This is the one splurge that I usually do on the Camino because I love this place so much. And I even, this time, since I'm here for 2 nights, they upgraded me, and I have a little sitting room, the weirdly beige room, with a couple of couches and a nice little table that you're sitting on, and it's really nice. I like this place. And I had a bathtub. I've been able to soak in the tub and loosen up my lower back and such. So anyway, how's it been going? The weather has been glorious. We got a few sprinkles for the first time yesterday. Other than that, it has been around 35 to 45 in the mornings and hitting sunny and mid-70s by the afternoons. It's been really nice. Brutally honest, I have forgotten how great Spain is in the spring. The last few Caminos I've done have been either the winter or the fall Caminos, and spring is glorious. All the fruit trees are blossomed out. The flowers are everywhere. The wildflowers are popping. It's really nice. Clyde and I did the Camino in 2018 during April, May. And yeah, I really kind of forgot how great it is. This is beautiful. So having a great time. So day 3, let's cover that real quick. It was Mansilla de las Mulas to León. Not the greatest walk in the world if you don't appreciate walking through the big cities. And that walk is, I didn't write down my mileage. Just assume most of these walks that I'm doing are right between 10 and 12 miles. Just as a rule of thumb, I'll let you know when I do shorter ones, but as a rule of thumb, they're going to be 10 to 12. A shorter one and a longer here and there. But, out of a 4 or 5 hour walk, probably 3.5 hours of that walk is through the outskirts of León. It's not the greatest, but much like the walk out of León, it's not the greatest, but I like to think that you earn the really good parts of the Camino by walking the stuff that isn't so great. So yeah, just be aware. On the upside, lots of places to get snacks, drinks, and go to the bathroom. There are bars everywhere once you start hitting the outside of civilization. So, kind of a nice thing. I then spent the night in León at the same place I was when I took my few vacation days before I started. After that, I walked to Villar de Mazarife, which, again, the walk out of León is not the prettiest place in the world. Just a lot of urban sprawl until you get out of it proper. And then, you know, you get into some little rolling hills, and there's some other stuff. So it gets a little bit better. But again, you know, not great. But lots of places for that 5-6 hour walk. You've got 3.5 to 4 hours of places with food, water, bathrooms, you know, whatever you would need. So it is kind of convenient to get back. Woo, motorcycle. To get back on the road. Just take advantage. And I keep running into this. I'm doing it to myself, which is stupid, because I've learned this lesson so many years ago, doing not just the Camino, but other things. It's, if you think you need a little bit of water, a little bit of food, or you need to go to the bathroom, and you come across a chance to do it then. Don't put it off. If you think you need something from a hiking store, maybe in a day or two, get it now. If you pass a hiking store, don't wait. Spain has some idiosyncratic closing times and closing days, and you really don't want to be without, particularly with food, drink, and bathrooms. You really need to make sure you can take care of that stuff. So don't cross the Rubicon without taking care of the basic needs. Okay, so day 5, Villar de Mazarife to Hospital de Órbigo. I kind of like that walk. It's not terribly long for me. I think that's a shorter stage. It's like only like 8 miles or something. But it's kind of fun. The walk into Hospital is really neat. There's, as you cross over the bridge over the river, there's a jousting ground where they still do modern recreation jousting and such. But back in the, I don't know, 13th, 14th century, some knights held the river crossing against other knights as a challenge, and their goal was to, I believe, break 100 lances. But after about 20 lances, everybody was so injured they just kind of packed up and went home. Or, you know, Hospital, it's named that for a reason. So I guess if you're going to have a big jousting contest in a time like that, maybe doing it in a town called Hospital, where there was a care facility, you know, for what it was back in the day. Not the worst idea in the world. So then day 6 was Hospital to Astorga. This is where, for me, the Camino starts to get good again. We're off the Meseta proper. We're into low rolling hills. We're getting warmed up. Tomorrow, I'm going to be going Astorga to Rabanal. So we're going to be getting into the higher foothills. We're going to be doing some fun up and down through the oak forests. And yeah, this is a really cool time. I will mention that the walk from Hospital to Astorga, they say there's a scenic route and a road route, and the signage now pretty much turns you to the scenic route instead of walking the road. And you'll see it as you leave. Actually, here, there's a picture. The stuff is spray painted all over the blacktop as you're leaving Hospital. So when you see that, take a right, follow those. It'll take you over to a little village where there's a donativo. If everything is closed, there's a donativo. It looks like this. There's a kind of a gruff old guy there that runs a completely donation thing. He has coffee and tea and hot chocolate and snackies and fruits and all sorts of good stuff. In 2020, I walked through there, and it was brutally cold that morning. So I'd stayed in Hospital, and it was probably 25 degrees out, and I was all bundled up, and I went walking by, and that old guy's out there smoking a cigarette in the cold, and he saw me walking by, and he just walked out, grabbed me by the scruff of my backpack, and drugged me over into the his little donativo shelter area there, and made me a cup of coffee and gave me some food, which was sweet. I had just had breakfast like 10 minutes before in Hospital, or whatever, 20 minutes before. But really sweet guy. Like I said, he is very gruff, but he means well. Just before you come into the outskirts of Astorga, and I can't remember the name of the town. You kind of come out of the hills, you hit a little town, and then you walk through it. Then you're kind of into Astorga once you cross the railroad tracks and such. There is another oasis, a donativo oasis. It looks like that. And this has been one of my favorite places on the entire Camino for years. The guy, it's now a team. There's multiple people there when we were there yesterday. Fruits, cakes, cookies, meats. They'll make you fresh squeezed orange juice. There's hot coffee. There's tea. There's honey. There's bee pollen. If you want some bee pollen to put in your stuff, you can just totally get what you need and then donate what you feel. It's a really good. They have lots of places to sit. They have a dog that loves to play football or soccer. We had a great time. Anyway, sorry, I had a call come in. So the oasis there is open. From there, it's only about 6 kilometers into Astorga proper. So, a little snacky there. If you're going to bypass Astorga, not a bad idea, but, stop in, take a load off for a bit. As you get into the outskirts, the first little village you come in, I can't remember the name. I'll put it here. It's this. You can hopefully see it against my black t-shirt. As you're walking through that, about 3/4 of the way through, on the left, as you're walking, there's going to be something called the Bar Oasis. There's a lot of oasis on this trip. There's a place called Bar Oasis, and it is reputed to have the best tortilla anywhere in northern Spain. Some say all of Spain. We stopped there to grab a tortilla and an Aquarius just for the heck of it because I like stopping there. And the tortilla for the day that was left when we got there at about 1 o'clock, it was like double the thickness of the regular tortillas that you'll see here in Spain. And it had not just the potatoes, but it was made with onions, which is kind of a 50-50 thing here. Some do, some don't. Depends on what grandma did. So the potatoes and eggs, but onions, mushrooms, and really oddly for Spain, a spicy green pepper, like a pimiento verde. Not like a jalapeno, more like a serrano, but it was all cooked together, so it had a tiny little spicy to it, had the onions working in there. It was, I gotta say, it's one of the best tortillas I've had in my last couple of trips. So yeah, really enjoyed it. From there, the walk into Astorga, again, not the greatest. You're kind of walking through the outskirts, and then you've got a bit of a hill to climb to get to Astorga proper. Walking into Astorga, you kind of get this vibe. You're walking through an semi-industrial area, but you can see the cathedral and everything. I was walking with some pilgrims from Sweden that were doing a quick pilgrimage. They went off to their albergue. I took a hard right, went to the hotel here that's by the cathedral. And along the way, I started passing the chocolate shops. And somebody had asked in the comments, and we'll hit it. I'm going to do a different video for the Q&A. But for the Q&A, asked, how many different kinds of chocolates do they make and sell in Astorga? So I took this picture. This is one of the smaller chocolate shops in Astorga. All of those are different. And they come in all different sizes. So imagine if you went to one of the big chocolate shops, what you're going to see. It's pretty amazing. So yeah, that's been the last 4 days. Nothing really eventful. Tomorrow, heading into the mountains, I'll be doing Rabanal, and then no. Anyway, the only thing that's really challenging coming up is I'm going to be staying in El Acebo. From El Acebo, I'll descend down through Molina Seca and then to Ponferrada. The tricky bit is El Acebo down to Molina Seca is one of the 3 or 4 not really great places on the Camino. It's a place you could injure yourself fairly easily because it's a rough trail. Depending on the storms, and we just had some storms last night, there may be trees down. They'll get out there and they'll cut the local government will cut the trees back so you can get over them. But we've climbed over, we've climbed under. There may be minor rock slides where you have to, as we say at home, coon ass, where you sit like a raccoon and then slide down the rock, and instead of trying to jump down or doing something really dangerously dumb. Yeah, you get your pants dirty, but at least you don't break a leg or sprain an ankle. I'm kind of expecting that because we've got heavy rains all day Saturday. So that is going to be one of the more challenging things that I've ever done on the Camino. I'm hoping that the chances of that rain goes away because not looking forward to it. One little thing is, with all my preparation that I talk about, something I forgot to do is I didn't pack my shoelaces. If you watched my equipment video and what's in my bag video, you might have noticed that I used lock laces, elastic laces that just thread through the bits where your shoelaces go. Then you can just cinch them down. They're not great on when you have a lot of downhill because they will expand across the vamp of the shoe and you can get some toe touching, which that's how you lose toenails. So I forgot about it. I'm heading into the last part of the Camino, the last couple of weeks, which is constant up and down. There's very little flat walking. There's some after Villafranca, but a little. So I ended up having to go get shoelaces because I forgot. So I ended up going to the hiking shop here. By the way, great hiking shop in Astorga. I don't remember the name of it. Here, I'll put it here. I got to start writing this stuff down. It is just off the Plaza de España. If you roam around Astorga, it's hard to miss. Plaza de España is kind of two linked. There's two linked plazas, kind of diagonally with a little walkway, and it's right in the corner by the supermarket. It's kind of neat. You walk in and you're like, this is nothing to do. And then you go downstairs and it is a pilgrim wonderland. This is one of the places that you could come to Astorga with nothing but a credit card or a handful of cash. And I'm assuming you would walk in clothed because I don't think you can get through Astorga naked to go to the hiking shop. You're welcome to try. Let us know how it goes. But you could start there and get every single thing you need. And it's not cheap tourist junk. It is legit good stuff. I picked up some new hiking pole tips for my regular hiking poles just because they're so expensive. The ones I like, the Lecky brand, are so expensive at home. I can pick them up here for a quarter of the price. So anyway, so that's it for day 3 to 6. I'll probably hit you guys up in probably about 3 days when I'm in El Acebo. I'm guessing there's not going to be a lot of pilgrims in El Acebo. I tend to break that stage up a little bit. Most people will stay in Molina Seca instead of El Acebo. For me, I just don't like the giant up, the giant down. I prefer to do the giant up, rest, giant down, and then a reasonable day onto Ponferrada. That's just how I do it. So anyway, I will get back to you guys. Like I said, it's probably going to be 3 or 4 days. And no huge promises. If the Wi-Fi sucks and I don't think I can do these uploads without crashing the Wi-Fi, I'll just wait till I can. So anyway, having a great time. Everything's safe. I hope everybody out there is doing great. I've already heard from some folks that watch the channel who are in Spain right now. I am dying. One of the people, I don't have their permission to really talk about much, but they sort of crafted a really interesting thing. They're doing multiple sections of multiple caminos. So they're actually going to end up in Santiago, I think 3 different times. So they're going to do a little chunk of this one, a little chunk of that one, a little chunk of that one. And I got to say, that is an option I have never considered, but I'm really anxious to hear how it went for them. And yeah, I'm really excited. That should be a great trip. So anyway, I'll see you in a few days, and everybody take care of yourselves. Everybody get out there. We're getting into the spring, summer. Get your training in. I know a lot of you are going to be going in summer and fall, so let's get Camino ready, and I'll see you guys later.